All right, Fred, what you got going on here, man?
What you call one of them there extreme flight jobs? What you call one of them there extreme flight jobs? MXS, I believe they call these things.
MXS, 48 inches, extreme flight, and this has got the crash-proof setup in it, remember?
Yeah, this plane should be familiar to you folks because it's been on video a couple times. Uncrashable.
Yeah, uncrashable. We've got the Radio Master. I think it's 6-channel with the Vario in there, and there's some logic inside that when the switch is turned on, it enables a hard deck, and that sets the altitude at 100 feet. And so what will happen is when the plane's flying, if it goes below 100 feet, then the logic kicks on, it turns on the auto level, adds power, adds bank, adds elevator, and adds a little gain to the gyro to let it climb out. So that's how it's set up.
And adds confidence
and
to
adds
the pilot.
That's right. Got to have that confidence. That's right. All right, Fred's gonna. Okay, so battery-wise, you got what kind of battery is that? As a
2650 4S we got here.
Yeah.
This should do the trick.
Yep. Well, Fred, this is Fred's first Balsa 3D plane too, right? First time?
Very first.
Is this the first time you flew a Balsa 3D plane?
No, when I was like 13, 14.
3D plane.
I had the 3D plane. Yes, very much so. My first
first time with a Balsa 3D plane.
Only other Balsa plane I had was a Falcon 56 by Goldberg. It was a trainer. Back in 1989 or something.
All right. So we're going to go up and just fly around. Freddie's already maidened it once, so we're not going to be doing anything crazy, but he's just getting familiar with how these MXSs fly. And I thought the reason this might make a nice video for you guys is if you're not into 3D and you want to kind of experiment with these style planes, you can see how they fly in kind of a sport capacity, and that's pretty much what Fred will do. He'll probably, knowing Fred, he'll probably do a little something, but most of it will probably be pretty sedated.
I got one flight. We're gonna take it easy and get familiar with her before we start unleashing the beast in her.
All right, all right. We're gonna set up and go fly. All right, man. Talk to people. You gonna take off from there?
We're gonna give her controls check. Right is right, left is left. Making sure. Here we go.
And it is windy. It is windy. That's a little 48-inch plane, and look at that windsock. It's standing up. The good news is the wind has been steady and right down the runway, so it's not been too bad. But Freddie's got the Hobby Eagle A3 Super 4 in there, and that's the gyro, and he's going to take off with the stabilizer on. We actually have a rescue switch set up too, so one of the channels is set to, or one of the switches is set to override the mode channel and set it to auto level. So Fred's used to that from helicopters.
We're ready to rock.
Let's get her done.
We got I'm gonna keep the wind rejection on right now because I only got one flight on this plane. I don't really know it too well, and we got a little breeze today. So
yeah,
here we go.
Up she goes. Nice takeoff, nice and steady.
Extreme flight, airborne.
This is one of those use cases where to me a gyro makes a lot of sense because that's a very light airplane and it's a pretty good amount of wind. So the gyro is just kind of helping alleviate the workload. Gonna do a few things, Fred?
Hey? Can't hear the wind blowing in my ear.
So you gonna do a few things? There you go.
Ooh, I like the rate on this.
Yeah.
It flips a lot easier than the old Ranger does.
Yeah, Mikey likes it. Look at knife edge, second flight. Look at that. Very nice.
This holds the knife edge, believe it or not, a lot better than my foamy.
Yeah, I believe it.
Ooh, yeah. That elevator's sensitive too.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to tune it to your liking now, you know.
We're using high rates. I haven't even tried the low rates yet. We don't want to get too ballsy today.
No.
Stick to what I know.
It's a good plane for visibility too. The red is dark in the middle, but it's got the white pops of color out on the wings, so that does help. Make sure you can see it.
Ooh, I'm getting a warning for voltage here.
Well,
That wasn't very long, huh?
a little throttle management maybe.
Well, you know, I'm used to that trainer, so I think I've been heavy on the throttle a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't have much power to her.
If it's not still going, you can fly more. It's just telling you you sagged. That's all it's telling you.
We'll take it around one more time now.
Very nice. Good. Hey, I'm really happy we got a balsa plane in Fred's hands so he can start developing skills with a more rigid airframe. He's ready for it.
Oh, this definitely feels a lot different than the foamy.
Yep. That's what I said. Foamies are really good for doing things like muscle memory. They're really good to teach you that stuff, but they just don't compare to a well-built balsa plane. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, ooh. On the ground, no fuss, no problem. You gonna go around again?
You think we got the juice?
Sure. I know this is a basic flight, guys, but you know, it's his first time doing this, so we're gonna take it easy on him, right? He's just getting familiar with this plane. Remember, this is a helicopter guy. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think I'm about 6 months in planes now, but I'm mostly simulator time than air time. And I'm a little bit nervous right now too.
Yeah,
with this one.
absolutely.
I don't have solid nerves with this yet.
Well, you're looking good, man. Nice first couple flights. That's the way to do it. Get familiar with it. Keep that nose down. Come on, bring that nose down a little. There you go. Get her down. There you go. Then flare. That perfect. Very nice.
That was not too bad, smooth.
That was pretty good, Fred. All right, we're going to put it on the bench and wrap this video up.
That was 5 minutes.
Well, there it is. Fred's second flight on a Balsa 3D plane, and that was the 48-inch Extreme Flight MXS. Fred, I know you were taking it easy today and just chilling out, but you know, there's an interesting moment of information here because you are a helicopter pilot, used to flying planes like the Ranger, like that's predominantly what you fly, and you've been working with your profile foamy, but this is the first time you've actually had like a Balsa. I would consider it a high performance plane in your hands. What are your thoughts about it? Like, what did you like? What don't you like?
It felt, I'll tell you what I noticed right off the bat is one, the response, you know, to the controls. It's immediate.
Yeah.
My Ranger, and even my foamy, it responds quick, but something about it, I don't know. I think it's just so light. It doesn't feel like an actual aircraft. The weightness of this, solid, you know, and it just does what you want it to. Like the foamies, it's like half the time I'm flying the plane and half the time I'm trying to keep from crashing and making it stay in the air. You know, it's not doing exactly what I'm wanting it to do.
Right.
This here is like, it just listens to you. It does everything you want it to do, which is, you know, I guess stability wise and I guess the material it's made out of, but the control surfaces are very responsive on this.
Very
which I
rigid.
like.
Yeah, it's very
Very
rigid.
rigid, I guess you could say.
Your
yeah.
answer is it feels more precise than like the foamies, the profiles.
Precision
Yeah.
is definitely on par compared to the foamies. at the
And your
same
control
time.
authority felt more.
Yeah, it felt like
significant.
more like I was in control. I'm kind of more like helicopters, you know.
Yeah.
Helicopter, you have full control of everything. It felt, you know, more like that compared to the foamies. Like I said, the foamies feel more like I'm just trying to keep it in the air more than anything. But I love this plane, man. This is a sleek design, sleek color. Definitely shows up in the air very well.
Yeah. What did you think about flying it? Like, this is only your second flight. You weren't doing really any 3D maneuvers. You did a couple things, but what would you think in terms of flight characteristics and how it feels if you're not slamming the sticks? Because they have very big control surfaces, and I know when I first started looking at these, that was concerning to me. But you just showed kind of what I've been talking about, and that's that if you tone it down a little bit, these fly in a sport manner really nice. What were your thoughts there?
Well, you know, I never did put it in low rates. I guess we should try that in low rates. But I've gotten used to having, you know, all my rates high and always flying on high for helicopter and with those. So I had them on high and it took to duck the water. But I got some pretty good stick discipline, you know, as far as, you know, being smooth on it and very small precision movements to it. So, you know, I took to it pretty well. Someone else I think would that, you know, isn't, you know, quite skilled like that would have no problem in lower rates just flying this around as like, you know, like I've been doing my trainers, just, you know, regular flight and.
But it's easy going in nature, right? It's not a scary thing.
Yeah, I didn't have any mistake, not mistakes, any surprises up there, you know?
The one thing that I would say if you're thinking about a plane like this is that there's no dihedral. So the aircraft has and the wing is symmetrical. So it has zero tendency to try and correct itself. So that means on a 3D plane, it goes where you point it. It will do what you say to do, and it doesn't try and correct anything. So that to me is the biggest one. But I've said this before, if you're interested in trying an airframe out like this, and you're just not convinced about the 3D aspects, all you have to do is tune your rates down so you don't utilize that entire throw, and then make it a little bit nose heavy up front, and that adds some stability. And when you do that, you've got a really nice flying sport plane that looks beautiful. I mean, I think these planes look fantastic.
Plus another added bonus I had to is I was lucky to get the Extreme Flight hat.
Well, yeah.
And this, I was told by the owner, gives me 1% better stick skills.
1%?
So 1% better stick skills wearing this hat.
Very nice.
That's probably attributed to the beautiful landing I just had.
I think so. And yeah, by the way, you know, second flight, and again, yeah, he had the wind rejection mode on, but there's the wind, there's the flag. I mean, it's coming down the runway. It's blowing pretty good. But yeah, second flight, and he did a really nice job with it.
Yeah, I think the wind rejection, I'll you know, take that off next time and see how it does once I'm in the air. But I don't have a problem. I flew by foamies. My one yak doesn't have wind rejection. I fly it no problem in the wind. The main issue with me is the landing when the wind's, you know, especially if there's a crosswind. That's not really my forte. I haven't had enough practice at it yet to feel, you know, ultimately comfortable with it.
Well, now you got a nice plane to do it. So.
Awesome plane, dude.
All right, guys, that's all we've got. Fred, I hope you enjoy that MXS, and I hope to see it flying quite a bit. If you like this kind of content, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos hit the channel. YouTube should recommend another video for you right now. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy.
Later, folks.
And go fly something.